When the sun dipped behind the mountains and the last threads of daylight faded, Sarah stood alone at the small bus stop on the edge of the old town, clutching a worn leather bag and a heart full of dreams she had carried for too many years. Life had not been kind to her these past months. She had lost her job, her confidence, and the only home she had ever known. But despite everything, tonight she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time: hope. A mysterious letter had arrived 2 days ago, unsigned, containing only a single sentence: "Come to Silver Lake Mansion at midnight, your life is about to change." She didn't know who had sent it, but something inside her whispered that she needed to go. With trembling hands she checked the time: 11:15 p.m. The bus was late. As she waited, she stared at the empty road stretching out like a promise in the dark. Just then, a black luxury car slowed to a stop beside her. The tinted window rolled down, revealing a man with sharp features, storm-gray eyes, and an expression both intense and unreadable. "Are you Sarah?" he asked in a quiet voice that somehow echoed authority. She hesitated. "Yes. Who are you?" "Someone who was sent to bring you," he replied. "Get in. You're expected." Against all logic, she felt no fear, only a strange sense of destiny pulling her forward. She slid into the car. The interior smelled faintly of cedar and rain. As the car moved through the silent night, she stole a glance at the man. There was something familiar about him, but she couldn't place it. "Do I know you?" she finally asked. "Not yet," he said. "But you will." They drove past dark fields, silver rivers, and tall whispering pines until the vast silhouette of Silver Lake Mansion rose before them, a palace of stone and glass perched above the shimmering lake. It looked abandoned yet alive, haunted yet breathtaking. The car rolled to a stop, and the man stepped out first, opening her door. "He's waiting inside," he said. She repeated, heart pounding. But the man only nodded toward the towering entrance and disappeared into the shadows. The heavy doors creaked open as if pushed by an invisible hand. Sarah stepped inside. Candlelight flickered across marble floors and portraits of stern-looking ancestors. The air felt ancient, thick with secrets. At the far end of the hall stood a tall figure in a dark suit. When he turned toward her, she froze. She recognized him instantly: Alexander Blackwell, a billionaire known for his brilliance and ruthlessness. But why would a man like him summon someone like her? "Sarah," he said warmly, as though greeting an old friend. "Thank you for coming." "Why am I here?" she whispered. "Because you hold something no one else does," he replied. "A truth I've been searching for." She stared at him, confused. "A truth? I don't understand." "You will," he said. "But first, I need you to listen." He led her to a grand room overlooking the moonlit lake. A fire crackled softly. He motioned for her to sit. "10 years ago," he began, "someone saved my life. Someone who vanished before I could thank them." She frowned. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I've spent years searching for that person," he said quietly. "And yesterday, I finally found her." Her breath caught. "Me?" He nodded. "You were 16. You saw a man collapse at the train station. Everyone walked past, but you ran to help him. You called an ambulance, stayed with him, talked to him, you kept him alive." She stared at him in disbelief. "That was you?" "Yes," he said. "You changed my life that night. And I swore that if I ever found you, I would return the favor." She looked away, overwhelmed. "I didn't do anything special. You saved me," he said, his voice firm. "And now it's my turn." He handed her a folder. Inside were documents: a job contract, a bank transfer, keys to an apartment, and a letter stating she was to be trained as a project director in his company. I can't accept this," she said, shaking her head. "I'm nobody." "You are the reason I'm alive," he replied. "And I believe you're capable of more than you know." She felt tears rise. No one had believed in her in years. But Alexander wasn't finished. He stood, walked to a window, and spoke without turning. "There is one more reason I brought you here." She waited, heart racing. "I need your help," he said. "Someone is trying to destroy everything I've built. And the person leading the attack is the one man I once trusted most." Her stomach dropped. "Who?" "My brother," Alexander said, his voice laced with pain. "And I can't stop him alone." She blinked, stunned. "But how can I help?" He looked at her, eyes burning with something fierce and fragile. "Because he'll never suspect you," he said. "And because you see people. Their truth. Their intentions. You saw me when no one else did." She wanted to protest, but something deep inside her, something she thought life had crushed, awoke again. Courage, purpose, a spark. "What do you want me to do?" she asked. Alexander smiled for the first time, a small, genuine smile that softened the sharp lines of his face. "Become my ally," he said. "My eyes, my instincts, my truth teller. I trust you." No one had said those words to her in a decade. And strangely, she believed him. The next days unfolded like scenes from a film. Alexander introduced her to his world. Towering offices, secret archives, hidden dangers. She learned about his brother, Damian Blackwell, a man with charm like poison and ambition like fire. He had already infiltrated the company, manipulating employees and investors, plotting to take control. Alexander's advisors told him to fight ruthlessly, strike first, but he refused. "I will not destroy my own brother," he said. "Even if he destroys me." Sarah saw the pain behind his strength. And she made a silent promise. She would protect him. Day by day she grew stronger, sharper, more confident. She learned to read financial data, navigate board meetings, uncover hidden motives. Everyone began noticing her, and wondering who she was to Alexander. "Someone important," he always answered. And slowly their connection deepened. He trusted her with every secret. She trusted him with her fragile hope. They began to talk late into the night, sharing pieces of their pasts, their fears, their wishes. One evening, as storm clouds gathered above the mansion, Alexander found her in the library, staring at the lake. "You've changed everything," he said softly. "So have you," she replied. He hesitated, then quietly asked, "Are you afraid of what's coming?" She nodded. "A little." "I won't let anything happen to you," he said. And she believed him. The storm broke the next morning. Damian launched a massive attack. False accusations, forged documents, a media storm meant to destroy Alexander's reputation. Chaos erupted. Employees panicked. Investors backed out. The company teetered on the verge of collapse. And through it all, Sarah stayed by Alexander's side. Together they uncovered Damian's lies, gathered evidence, and exposed the truth. It was Sarah who found the final piece, a hidden recording revealing Damian's plan. And it was Sarah who stood beside Alexander as he confronted his brother for the last time. The confrontation was furious, emotional, heartbreaking. Damian screamed that Alexander had stolen everything from him. Alexander argued that he had loved him too much to see his darkness. Sarah watched them, tears in her eyes, knowing there would be no winners in this battle. In the end, Damian left, defeated but not destroyed. And Alexander collapsed into a chair, exhausted. "It's over," he whispered. Sarah touched his shoulder gently. "You did the right thing." He looked up at her, and in his eyes she saw gratitude, pain, hope and something deeper. "I couldn't have done this without you," he said. "Sarah, you've become the most important person in my life." Her heart trembled. "Alexander." He stood, stepped closer, and took her hands. "Stay," he said softly. "Not because you saved me, but because now, I can't imagine my life without you." The words wrapped around her like warm light. For the first time in years, she felt seen, valued, cherished. And she knew her answer. "I'll stay," she whispered. "For you." And as the dawn broke over Silver Lake Mansion, painting the world in gold, Sarah realized the letter had been right. Her life had changed forever. She had found purpose. She had found strength. And perhaps, she had found love.